Kyle, Eddie Jackson, Prince. I got to take those guys to dinner. I got to take them to dinner this weekend.
I want to give credit to Mitch for he had a really good week of practice. He was very mentally prepared. He's mentally strong.
I don't know if I'd call it a breakthrough yet. We got to keep getting better, keep growing. Definitely room for improvement.
Yeah, I am. In disbelief because we have so much talent. And it's like it's third week in a row that we're sitting there like, God.
You're not going to support us now, which you shouldn't because we're playing like mother. I don't know what you want me to tell. So don't support us now, don't support us later. We going to circle the wagons in this month. We going to get right. Believe that.
If I didn't think we had a chance to get better, then I would make a change. But I feel like Case has the tools to become a very efficient quarterback in this offense and get us some victories here moving forward.
I'm sorry. Before we go any further, I have to interrupt. Because don't you notice a pattern, fellas, where everybody, don't support us now, don't support us later. I mean, you're going to go up against us now, you're going to go up against us later. Don't come running to us like you do something. Well, who was that? Was that Jonathan Allen for the Redskins with all that profanity? Of the 7 years they've been home. No Super Bowl since, what was it, 1991. That's the last time the Super Bowl. Any NFC championship games here? No.
I'm sick of you being disrespectful.
I'm just saying.
You better stop being so
He's right. He's right. And Washington is
stop
football.
The man is talking about now. He ain't concerned about the last.
No.
Yeah, but they stink now.
Let me explain real quick. I apologize. Real quick. All I'm trying to say to you, as a football player, this is what I'm trying to say to you.
I just want to say one thing. We're brought to you by Chase. Keep going.
Thank you. This is the deal. They're coming at folks like fans, media, and everybody else like there's no cause for folks to question your productivity when your history is filled with unproductive tendencies. That's all I'm saying.
You can't blame them for the history.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but how about the present?
It was more of a message to his team. First, all right, do what you want to do. I ain't going to defend Jonathan Allen, but I know what the hell he was saying. I've been in that situation where you in the stadium and the people booing you and they telling you ain't worth nothing.
Because they paid their money and you lose.
I understand that, but he still got to send a message to his team.
That's what Le'Veon Bell was doing, but that wasn't good enough for you.
Nah,
I ain't see you do that.
Totally
I ain't see you do that. But go ahead.
All right.
I was going to tell you if we suck.
We kind of hijacked the segment. It's all good, though. No, I like the raw motion, so let's just blow off the whole lead and everything. What should Washington do now? They're 0-3.
I mean, this is silly. I'm going to stop joking around. Jay Gruden's got to go. I don't care whether it's 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, whatever. The man has had 6 years. I personally think he got the job because of his last name. I'm not saying he doesn't know football. I'm not challenging his football acumen. He certainly knows more football than me. I'm not qualified to sit up there and dissect what he's doing right or wrong. I'm in a results-oriented business, meaning I chronicle your results. You haven't gotten it done. There is 3 consecutive years that he's been on the outside looking in. 4 of the 5 years he's been the coach, they've been on the outside looking in. Say what you want about Daniel Snyder, Max Kellerman, but he pays. He pays. He spends money. You've had Bruce Allen there, the Joe Gibbs of the world and others. You've had people who've been consultants to the organization, stuff like that. You've got all the support you need. At some point in time, it's about you, whether or not you can get it done. And I'll bring up the name because you keep bringing up Bill Belichick. I'll give you another one. How about Bill Parcells? Here's what I mean by that. I watched Bill Parcells walk into a New York Jets situation and take them to an AFC championship game. And we said, how the hell did he pull it off? Because somehow, some way, the talent that he had was maximized. The Holmgrens of the world, all right, they once did it. Pete Carroll, we rave about him because somehow, some way, he figures things out to keep you respectable. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about here. Jay Gruden has not done that. I don't mean any harm. I want the man to be able to feed his family. I don't want to take money out of anybody's pocket. I swear to you, that's not my goal.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about
reality.
I'm just talking about folks on the come up.
Business.
Starving for an opportunity to get a chance that you have gotten. And for 6 years, you failed. Enough's enough. This organization is not going anywhere until Jay Gruden is replaced as head coach of the Washington.
Listen, Jay Gruden had to go. You know, like Washington has never scared me. I'm an NFC East, New York Giants fan. And when the Giants are strong, I look at an Eagles game on the schedule, I'm like, oh boy, they're going to stick the thorn in our side, of course. You look at a Cowboys game, that could be a tough. I always look at Washington like, whatever. They're the ones in the division. I'm like, oh, thank God Washington's there. Whether the Giants are good or bad, kind of whether Washington's good or bad, because they're usually not very good. And Jay Gruden hasn't impressed me, but okay, you bring up Bill Parcells. Oh, Bill Parcells makes almost any other coach. You'd rather have Bill Parcells. There's a huge drop-off between him and Jay Gruden. But what I think this means is, Stephen A., when you're 0-3 and the coach is on the hot seat, we're going to see Dwayne Haskins sooner than later. Like whether or not they think he's ready, whether or not it's a great idea, whether or not you may have to backtrack, and that could be bad for the coach believes he's coaching for his job. He has a first-round pick quarterback who threw 50 touchdowns and single-digit interceptions. We're going to see Dwayne Haskins. Maybe not this week, but very, very soon.
I have mixed emotions about the recent demise of the Washington Redskins. And the reason I say that is because of the catastrophic injury to Alex Smith.
Yes.
They were competitive.
That's true.
Before he was injured. And then Colt McCoy, who had been in that system, who was probably going to have success doing some of the same things that Alex Smith was doing, unfortunately subjected to injury as well. Here's my issue with the Washington Redskins. They meander. I said it earlier. Like, even with the Giants, you can identify, all right, this is bad. This is how we need to approach it to fix it. And we are going to start putting pieces in place to fix it. Washington kind of is on that. It's the same conversation we've had about Jason Garrett, right? A good coach that'll get you to the playoffs, but will it get you to the promised land? So you meander because you're like, I don't know if I should get rid of him because he's doing a good job. So when is the clock going to strike for him to just take us over the top?
Stephen A's Marvin Lewis argument.
So it's just difficult to see where the direction is. Now, with Stephen A. and what he just said, this is why I agree. Because a coach's job is to find and identify who you are as a football team. That is the crazy amount of money that these dudes making, you should never meander. As much as we talk about Miami and the situation they're in right now, at least we see what they're doing. At least we see what they're trying to get accomplished. With Washington, they just existing. And that's a problem.
They're always existing. They're always in the way, but they're never those dudes.
Never.
That's number one. Here's my question to you, and I'm getting to a point, so I need you to answer it quickly, and then I'm going to come back to it. Is there a difference in your mind, just yes or no? Is there a big difference between Kirk Cousins and Alex Smith?
No.
Arm strength.
I'm talking about productivity.
No,
is there a big difference? Well, before Alex Smith was 6-4 as your quarterback, before he went down with that nasty injury against the Houston Texans, okay, you had Kirk Cousins. That was also a 7-9 season, and an 8-7-1 season before that. Even the year that you won a wild card, you were 9-7. Your first year there was 4-12. What I'm saying is, you've never in 6 years had a double-digit winning season. I can't look at you and say, you're not bad, you're not awful, but are you that guy that I need out in the nation's capital talking to the public in Maryland and Prince George County and all the surrounding areas that I'm asking to clamor to FedEx Field? Are you that guy that I can look at and say, could you do me a favor and go out there and be the face of our franchise and galvanize the folks, convincing them, you know what, I'm that guy. He ain't that guy.
This also speaks
he ain't
to
that
Haskins.
guy.
The quarterback-coach combination is the key to success. I was in D.C. decades ago when they were going to bring back Joe Gibbs. They're always looking backwards, right? Alex Smith was not, except for RG3 for a minute. They're looking backwards.
Well, based on what you're saying,
quarterbacks,
on what you're saying, Max, he ain't the one.
Well, what I'm saying is Haskins is actually a pick that says we're looking forward, but not with Jay Gruden, I don't think.
I'm not putting that onus on Dwayne Haskins. Like, Dwayne Haskins is not coming in to save Jay Gruden. Look, Minnesota just gave Kirk Cousins almost $100 million because they saw a talent that Jay Gruden couldn't win with. They could. Alex Smith.
Don't worry, Minnesota won't win.
Alex Smith, deep in the playoffs with the Kansas City Chiefs, couldn't win with Jay Gruden. So it's him. It points to you. And I agree. I agree with Stephen A. Listen, we got to stop. Here's one thing we need to do in sports when we start talking about it. We need to stop acting like, because you said something very important. Jay Gruden is there because his last name is Gruden. It ain't maybe. It ain't, well, it's because his last name is Gruden.
Yeah.
That is definitive.
Yes.
Steve Wilkes got 1 year in Arizona.
That's right.
Cliff Kingsbury just